I'm officially 21, which means I can legally drink in every country, I can gamble in Vegas, but today I'm watching my old films to see how far I've come in 5 years. That's how I'm spending my 21st. Hi, I'm Conor Brett, I'm a filmmaker, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking through 5 years of my filmography and I'm going to be breaking down what happened, what went well, and what went wrong. But stay tuned until the very end to see a sneak peek of my upcoming short film, Outset. Become the Smile 2021.
Oh my god, Randy!
Oh, me.
No! Wait!
Yeah, Become the Smile was a rough one. It was my first film, and that already was scary, so let me set the scene. It's college, it's 2021, I'm 16 years old, and they tell us to come up with a concept for a horror short film. And you've got to fully flesh it out, you've got to write a script, you've got to do a storyboard, you've got a shot list. So I come up with this really cool idea about a serial killer and a mental patient, and it's a whole thing. And it was really cool. They decide to then throw us in the ring, gladiator style, and say, alright, you're now in random groups of 6. You have to battle it out to see who gets director, whose idea gets filmed. And it's you have 1 week for pre-production before you have to start filming. They wanted to compromise on the idea. What ended up happening is my cool, original, non-student film idea then became about a bunch of college students staying late and getting hunted by a serial killer at college. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Because then we're just making a student film. The script was written in a day. The shot list was written alongside it, and the storyboard was drawn alongside the shot list. Then after a hectic few days of getting everybody together, and we found actors, which was amazing. It was the first time I'd ever worked with actors. Honestly, the actors were lovely. And I couldn't be more grateful for the actors that we got on my first film. They were wonderful. But my crew was ass. But eventually we got to production. We'd scheduled 2 days to shoot the whole 5-minute thing, which, yeah, simple enough. We got so behind. We shot about 2 scenes and we had to spend the whole second day reshooting them. So day 3 was added and day 4 sort of became do whatever the fuck you can day. Oh, we were shooting on these awful cameras. It looks, there's one shot in it that's a reshoot in the first scene. I have no idea how we fucked up the camera that much. That's how it looked. I couldn't save that shot for the life of me. Got to the point in production. Production was not the best, as you would expect for a first time short film from everyone involved. And it got to the point on the final day, 2 hours left, and we still needed to shoot the big fight at the end, and we wanted to just reshoot a bunch of stuff in those 2 hours. But what happened was everyone was fucking around. Not the actors. The actors were honestly very professional. It was the crew. It was late. I was tired. So I just basically yelled, alright, everyone that's not needed, go to the classroom and I'll come find you when we're done. I kicked out everybody except the 2 actors. And then I spent that hour filming that fight scene, and honestly, they were so game. They were throwing themselves around. She was throwing him for real. I should probably say you don't need to, but it looked good on camera, so I'm not saying shit. And yet we shot that scene in an hour. But when I got back to that room, you can just feel the energy in the room that nobody wanted to be there anymore. So it got to the point where I was just I've shot everything that I need, and I just said that's a wrap, thank you everybody, you can go home. And yeah, it wasn't great, but I'll admit it was a great learning experience for a first film. I learned kind of who to trust and who not to trust. It sort of made the rest of college quite interesting, because it's only up from there really. True Intentions 2023.
Let me ask you a question, Faith. Have you ever encountered a serial killer?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make such a mess.
No. Don't worry. It's okay.
No. Honestly, let me clean it up. Let me go and grab that mop over there.
Is everything okay, Detective?
College is about to end. I'm 17 years old now, and it's time for the big final major project. At this point, I have a good friend called Lewis Talbot, who you will be seeing again in Outset later this year, but we'll talk about that later. We've been friends for a couple years at this point, and we get talking about like, we want to make something. And I'm like, hey, I need to make a movie for college. And then we just brainstorm for like an hour. Random little like log lines and concepts. And we land on a detective goes on a date with a serial killer, but neither of them know that the other one's the other one. And we started actually like breaking down the script, and I started writing the first draft. He would give notes. We'd go back and forth for a couple weeks, and I think eventually we get to about the middle of January, and this is my first time ever getting feedback on a script from like an external person, not from a friend. And it was this website called Coverfly X, which I don't think works anymore. I don't think it exists. And I did that. I posted it on like r/screenplay on Reddit, and I got some feedback there. It broke me. It was soul crushing, because obviously I'm 17. I feel like, oh my god, this is great, this is better than everything I've done. And it was still shit. But at this point, middle of January, we already had a set filming date for February, so I had less than a month to fix all the problems. So I would spend the next couple of weeks tweaking the script and trying my best to fix it. And what happened was I ended up with 1 week for all of pre-production. So it was like quickly ordering as much as you can on Amazon and like getting it delivered to the house where we were going to film everything. It just got to the point where it was literally just me, Lewis, and his now fiancée Holly were the only people ever on set. We just powered through it in 2 days. We filmed a 20-minute film in less than 48 hours? That's pretty impressive to me, and that's still the thing that I take away from it, is that efficiency. Oh, I didn't even tell you. We shot it on an iPhone, but what happened was, and the reason why it looks so bad, because iPhone footage is not that bad, and it was shot in 4K, that we decided to data transfer via him uploading every clip to YouTube, and then I would download the clip. Now what if you don't know about YouTube compresses the video so that it can allow for the billions of videos that get uploaded. It may still be 4K, but it is a much lower resolution 4K. So using that as the base footage, then uploading it back again to YouTube, it looked shit. It looked awful quality. Anyway, yeah, we shoot it all in 2 days on the iPhone, no audio equipment, so much dialogue with just phone audio. So then I come home, I have the footage, and I take about 2 months to edit it. It was a struggle because I really didn't like it when I was editing it, but I had to do it for the assignment. I didn't have time to make anything else, or we weren't able to do reshoots or anything. In the end, I power through with it. I get into contact with Devansh Kalia. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I apologise, Devansh. And his music fully saved True Intentions for me. His music is the thing that I like the most about it. But it comes out on April 28th in 2023 on Lewis's channel. And what you'll notice is obviously it's now on my channel because it bombed. He's like a superhero Marvel Spider-Man video essay channel. So when we uploaded a 20-minute thriller film, they weren't keen on it. I then did like marketing run with it on my channel, uploaded it, and it got 13,000 views in a couple weeks. But no, looking back on True Intentions, it was the most valuable learning experience I could have had. In the end, the film isn't good, but I do look back on it fondly. And it did lead to Outset being able to happen as good as it is, because the script for Outset, the first draft, was written a week before we shot True Intentions. So the film has been in the works since I was 17. I'm now 21. Jesus Christ. Deliverance 2025. I then went to America, to Connecticut, and I studied as an exchange student for 9 months at Central Connecticut State University. I didn't know anyone, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, I was shitting myself. My first class was digital videography, and in that class they tasked us with the assignment, the first assignment for homework was to do video proof of every camera type. So that's wide shot, close up, extreme close up, like all that stuff. And oh shit. So I sent an email to my professor outside of class. Would you mind if I make a short film for Monday instead that has every shot type? And he just responded back, yeah, that sounds good. This was on Wednesday night, and I had until Monday to make a finished short film. And at the time, I was in the middle of watching Severance, so I decided, okay, hey, I know I can do it. I love the show. So I spent all of Wednesday and Thursday finishing like a rough version of a script. No dialogue, so it's easy to film, just an office worker that receives messages that the workplace isn't what it seems, and he needs to go. On Thursday night, I emailed my acting professor and I asked him, would you put out a call if anyone's interested, if anyone can film on Friday or Saturday? After 3 hours of that email, I got one response the whole time, and it was from Matthew Riley. And thank God it was, because he was fantastic.
Say that again?
I spent all of Friday like getting all the props ready. I gave him the script and I told him like, all right, we're going to meet here. We're going to shoot for 2 hours. And then I realized I need so much more than 2 hours to film this, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And then Saturday came. I got to the office like 2 hours early because I was so anxious. And then Matthew arrived. And the first time we met was 5 minutes before I went, action. We barely knew each other, but he did a great job. We worked together so well. We'd filmed the whole thing, what ended up being like a 5-minute short film, in an hour and 45 minutes. Because he just nailed it every time. I'd tell him what I needed. He'd do a little rehearsal and I'd be like, perfect, cat, action. And then, yeah, edited it all of Sunday, finished it on Monday, and then that's basically the version you saw. After that, obviously, I did a few tweaks. I got a soundtrack from Deliverance, and I look back on it now with not as much fondness because it's not great quality, it's a bit iffy, cut that out. But it was good to be made in an hour and 45 minutes and done all in like 5 days. It's essentially a 48-hour film festival, and it worked. Spider-Man Beneath the Mask 2025.
Eddie.
We are not Eddie. We are Venom.
So the semester was coming to an end, and this was now the point in the class where you're supposed to make a short film. And I thought, okay, mister, I'll do it again. But I had a lot more time to prep this time. I had like a month to write it and do pre-production, and then I had another month to both film and edit it. So I had plenty of time this time. The idea I wanted to do changed about 1 million times. I can't do any of these things right now in the time frame, because at this point I needed to film it like yesterday. I kind of just put together an idea of like, okay, I'm in America. I have access to New York City. I'm just going to film something where it's a voiceover and it's just going to be like New York B-roll, and it was going to be probably my worst short film ever, but I needed a grade. When I went to New York that day, where I was going to go all around the city, I was going to go start at Grand Central, I was going to go down 5th, I was going to get on the Staten Island ferry, get some shots of like Statue of Liberty, then I was going to go over to Brooklyn, and then I was going to make my way up to Queens and then back to Grand Central to go back to Connecticut. I got some footage in Grand Central. I made my way down 5th past the public library. I got to the Flatiron building. I took a seat in the park, and I realized that there had been a mark on the sensor the whole time. So I was already behind an hour, and my schedule was very, very, very to the point. And I also realized this is boring. I still like the idea of Peter leaving a voicemail to Uncle Ben when he's having doubts. It was nice to make something about a hero that I admire facing the same things that I was facing and overcoming it. But I knew Matthew and he was on board. Luckily he loved Spider-Man, and I just put together this script where it was originally in a graveyard and he was at Uncle Ben's grave, but that didn't work out because when I went to the graveyard to go scout it, there was a drug deal going on, and I thought, not going to film there. So I found another place. place and we filmed in the back alley behind the student union building. I knew it was going to be tough because I had to do a full CGI Venom. I'd never done CGI before, so this was a big ask to do in about, what, a week? So I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but we filmed it anyway. We spent one day filming. It was like 10 pages of dialogue. It was a full monologue that he had to learn in like a week. So I don't know how he did it, but he did a great job. We shot for about 3 hours, so that was great. But I had to put together an early cut to show in my class, and what happened was there was an alternate ending, and it came off very cheesy and not really as grounded as everything else that had come before it. So I rewrote the ending to what you see now in the film. We shot that, we reshot some bits from the monologue section. That day took longer because now we shot it on a day where the student union was actually open, so there was noise, there was people. It was nowhere near as smooth as our other 2 filming days have been, but we powered through and we got to the end of it and we'd wrapped. And I make a version of the film that is ready to be shown in class with a really, really crude version of Venom. Nowhere near finished, nowhere near what you saw in the final film. And people liked it, which was good. And I kind of then put it on a shelf for a little while. I got my grade, I got my A, I came back to England, and that was that, really. But throughout the summer and then a little bit, obviously then throughout the autumn, I wanted to release the film. So I took that time and I figured out how to do CGI and like finish the film, basically. I didn't get a soundtrack for this one because I thought it's already a copyright character. I can't make money on this. I'll just put some copyright-free music. It was released. It did pretty well. And yeah, I'd improved. I wasn't proud of it, but it was fine. But now that I was back in England, I knew, okay, I have 1 year left of university. I have to make my biggest film yet. Outset 2026. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. If you've enjoyed me talking and yammering on about the things that I've made and my thoughts on them, then please leave a like, subscribe, comment if there's anything you want to know, if there's anything you want to see on the channel. I am very, very much open to suggestions. But as a little gift for staying around, here is a clip from my upcoming short film, Outset, to show just how far I've come. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a little snippet from the opening of the film. We shot that. That was the first scene we shot for the movie. Great time, great cast, great crew, great film. If you want to stick around for the filmmaking journey and see what I make next, then please subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below what you would like to see on the channel in the future. With that all being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.